Doomsday is back, and he is more fierce, more dangerous, and more of a savage than he ever was. Recently, an escapee from hell itself, he is back to rip apart everything Superman holds dear, and we are here to spectate on this event. Starting off with the origins of Doomsday himself, you see, he wasn't always called Doomsday. His original name was called the Ultimate. He was the ultimate weapon, sent to multiple worlds to go, fight, die, evolve. That was his job, to just evolve. And when he came to Earth, he died a lot of times. And the thing about his death, it wasn't just death, it was death and evolution. Even in the future, he died so many times, he got time travel powers, donning the name Time Trapper for a reason. They fought countless battles, and each time he evolved, inching closer and closer to godhood. The last time he died, he faced off against a whole unit of intergalactic superheroes. Which brings us to the present. Right now, he needed Superman's help to attain godhood. I know we have been enemies in the past, but now I'm asking you to help me in the next step of my evolution. Help me be a creator rather than a destroyer. Even with that, none of this made sense. You have control over time and space. Why me? Why am I special? He corrected him. You aren't. Honestly, I arrived earlier than I hoped. You still have your right eye to begin with. That means Zod hasn't come. This is the perfect opportunity, because the events that unfold after today, you will come to regret. Your friends and family are in danger. Clark heard this and took it as disrespect. You will not threaten my family. Doomsday sought to remind him who he was. I may have been evolved, but I can still put hands on you, smacking him down so hard he flew like a bullet. He put on his cloak and told him maybe this is not the right time. I will return, maybe after you've gone through some hardships. For now, you have a head start. Get ready for battle. And as time unfroze, Superman started to move. He moved like a speeding bullet even before Lois could land the first punch. He returned, breaking multiple sound barriers. He launched an attack with all of his might, trying to put Doomsday down in one punch. The whole of Metropolis shook. Even Mercy in the super tower almost fell over. What the hell was that? It was Superman, of course, and he was hurt. How was he hurt? He revealed Hellfire. Jesus Christ, he's a monster. That punch didn't even slow him down. He was back for more. Superman screamed for Lois. Lois, take care of the Doomhounds. I'll take him. Calling for Mercy. Clear the city. Doomsday's here, and he's far more powerful than we could possibly imagine. But Mercy was already en route. It was time for Project Deadbeat. Superman was cautious. It hasn't been tested, but this was no time to talk. Trust me. And he said okay. The city was being cleared. Superwoman was facing off against the Doomhounds. Even Lex Luthor was doing his part because the loss of life was great. Children's lost their parents. Buildings were killing over. One almost crushed Lex himself, but Superman managed to save him, which was a stupid move because Doomsday was here. You think this is a time to save folks? Nah, son, I'ma take you down. Lois came through trying to save her man, but Doomsday simply grabbed her hand and crushed it, tossing her to the side like a rag doll. This is no time to play. Honestly, Superman was thinking the same because he wasn't playing. He was going for Doomsday like a rocket. The ground was booming. Even the Justice League had taken notice. Batman called in, Mercy, I have the Justice League heavy team ready. But she told him to hold off because they had a plan. She was already en route and she was ready to drop off. She had a team with her, and this team member was hungry. This is when we find out her team member was actually Parasite himself. Superman was about to be crushed, which is why it was perfect that he dropped in the lick of time. Parasite was a good guy, and he was there to feed on energy, Doomsday's energy. Superman begged him not to kill him, but how could he? The energy is bottomless. This is delicious. Doomsday, however, didn't think so. Superman tried to warn Parasite, but it was already too late. Doomsday had a hold of him, and he carried him and split him in half for everyone to see. This was so shocking. Superman and Mercy froze in their steps. Jesus Christ. The only person that could wake them up was Doomsday himself, because he wasn't done. And now, Superman was angry. Enough. Punch after punch came. Superman was filled with rage. The floor was bubbling. His red levels were spiking. He was becoming terrifying. Something straight out of an Invincible comic. The blood splatter was incredible. Mercy literally had to scream, "Superman, stop!" before he stopped in his tracks. He was supercharged right now. He could have killed Doomsday, but thankfully he didn't. He would have just come back stronger. Now, at least, the super team was here, and they were going to tranquilize him. Parasite had done his job. He had drained him of enough energy to allow him at least be put to sleep. Superman, however, was still supercharged. Only Lois could bring him back, and she did. But even she could tell he was at his limits, especially because Parasite died for him. Thankfully, his death was not in vain. Now they had Doomsday sedated, but that would never hold. He was the ultimate after all. Mercy looked at Lois and said, "You may need to leave, since you don't want anybody finding out who you are." So she grabbed her man and set flight. Today was a hard day, and worst of all, Jimmy was curious about who Superwoman is. Lois had to play it cool. She had to actually act like she was sick when she was just badly hurt. We could literally see the bruises all over her body. Thankfully, her husband was Superman. He was used to the bruises, so he knew how to fix it. With one ice-cold breath, he froze the part of her injuries, and she was relieved. Thanks. But he was not in a good mood at all. She could tell. What's wrong? And he revealed today was just a wreck. She honestly thought he was worried about her. He was, but he was more worried about Time Trapper, because he warned that losses were going to follow, and more was still to come. She assured him, because honestly she understood, but now she had powers. Now, together, they were going to stand up to anything. But the thing is, he couldn't help but worry. If this was not the serious battle, how serious could the serious battle be? This is when we get a taste. Somewhere outside our own galaxy, we see a planet. Beautiful. The planet was named Calaton, and we hear a discussion taking place. These people were talking about the ultimate. It seems this planet was the home of the creators of Doomsday, and now he was back from hell. Now it was time to enact their revenge. As we see one of the planet's residents wear a mask awfully familiar to the mask Doomsday had on when he first landed on Earth. Finally, we're getting some truths, and I cannot wait to reveal it to you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.